Wanna go for a ride? Wanna go for a ride? You wanna go for a ride? This jewelweed is off the hook. Look at that stuff. It's going crazy. Caterpillar in a puddle. Caterpillar in a puddle. I think that he's doing okay. He seems to have built-in swimmies. Yeah, he's okay. Just going for a swim. Everything is all super gorgeous and in full bloom right now. It's like harvest season. It makes me feel this homesick, beautiful feeling because Mabon is coming, which is kind of my favorite pagan holiday. I think that the main reason is because, oh wow, my heart. When I was a teenager, the first way that I found to connect to God or spirit was pagan religion. I stumbled upon that. Actually, my brother had some books about it, and I read them. Scott Cunningham's books really made an impression on me, and then I found out that there was this pagan pride festival happening in my area, and I went to it. It was on Mabon, and there was a Mabon ritual as a part of it, and it was just the most powerful, beautiful experience. I felt so connected to something greater than myself, with the earth and the other people there. The ritual that we did, it felt so right and beautiful. And I don't know, they changed the location, and it's never been the same since then. I think that it's just, this time of year really speaks to me anyways. I love the fall, you know, and it's just beginning. It's just, everything is reaching its zenith. Is that how you pronounce that? Everything is reaching its pinnacle of manifesting the gifts that it has to offer in the world. You get to see like the full expression of each plant, and that smell is in the air. Like, it's like you can smell the beginning of fall, like this kind of like earthy, spicy smell of all there's some leaves that are beginning to decompose, and everything is so green and moist. It's just like a really fertile, amazing time, and it feels like I should be sitting at a mysterious banquet in the middle of the fairy forest. Anyways, yeah, I feel like I should be celebrating this with other people. So I checked my YouTube channel this morning before I left home and discovered that I have one new subscriber aside from my mom, and I feel very excited about that. And 2 people liked my videos, and so I pretty much figure that I am a celebrity now. So that led me along a whole thought process around, and imagine if this could really become like what I do, and massage could just be kind of a secondary thing that I don't really worry about. I just let it kind of take care of itself, and imagine if I could like support myself by just sharing what my true gifts are. Imagine if it helped me to unfold my gifts even more than I ever imagined, and I just really got a good feeling about that. And then, of course, immediately the fear comes in. So there's this book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. It's a really amazing book. When I was 14, my parents were going through a divorce, and it was a very, very difficult year for me. My first love broke my heart. during that time, I also found The Artist's Way. I fully and completely did that book. This isn't a book that you read, it's a book that you do. It's a course that you go through. And I really completely committed to it and completely did it. And it was just incredible. Actually, the morning pages that I do are from that book. That's something that has still stayed with me, like, what, 12 years later? Is that possible? I'm getting old. But in that book, she talks about how if you're going to have some kind of a creative profession, any kind of a creative profession, your livelihood depends on the maintenance of your spiritual self and your creative self. Because if you're not nurturing your creative self, which she calls your artist child, sort of like your inner child and or this being that you might call the artist that lives inside you, you need to nurture that being, or else your creativity is going to run dry and you're not going to be able to keep doing what you do for work, and then you will starve. And the idea of that was so intimidating to me when I remember reading that book and thinking, I don't think I can risk having a creative career because that's just too much responsibility. Back to that ability to sustain thing. I'm like, I can't even keep my plants watered. How am I going to nurture this artist all the time? Like, it's just too insecure of a way to live. That's what I thought back then. So I steered away from creative professions, even though I've flirted with the idea off and on for my whole life. The idea of being an artist. I loved drawing and painting growing up, and I was pretty good at it. And I love writing, and people tell me that I'm good at it, but I've always shied away from pursuing any of those as a career because it just seemed too dangerous to rely on something that required more maintenance than I thought that I was capable of. But guess what? So here I am. I have a very practical profession, massage therapy. Almost everybody needs and wants a massage. Creativity and spirit is totally there. I mean, that's why this career has been working for me for as long as it has, because it is both practical and spiritual, and I feel that I'm really serving people, and that's awesome. It's great, but it's not sharing my truest gifts with the world. But anyway, so here I am. I've started my own business with massage, and I am discovering that even though my job is not a strictly creative job, my success in my business still relies on the maintenance of my spiritual self. And I'm just realizing that you can't avoid that, or at least I can't. Maybe some people can, but for me, I don't know. Maybe it's ADD, or maybe it's being a sensitive person, or I don't know what it is, but if I'm not nurturing my creative and spiritual self, I will lose all motivation, and I'll stop working on my business, and I'll starve just as if I were an artist. And that is really kind of funny and ironic. I might as well be an artist then. And these YouTube videos are my art. That's what I'm realizing. I'm getting to express the things that I care about the most and the things that I love the most, and in a beautiful medium. Like, whenever I watch these videos, I am so taken by how beautiful the places are in the background. Like, I know that they are in the moment, but it's just, I realize that that's part of the art, and I hadn't even really thought about it that way. So anyways, the reason that I was thinking about this morning was because when I was imagining, like, what would happen if my YouTube videos, like, really took off, what if that became my primary source of income, and I started to rely on it, and the scary side of that, which is that you never know what could happen. What if my creativity runs dry? What if I run out of ideas? Like, I've seen other YouTubers post about that happening to them. And then I came back to The Artist's Way, and I realized that is exactly what that book is about, is how to make sure that that doesn't happen. And all of a sudden I have the willingness to do that. All of a sudden I realize I need to do that no matter what. even if I'm not technically an artist for a profession.